Namaskar everyone and welcome to Self-Actualized Leadership Network Masterclass. So these are the target audience for the workshop today. People who are already MLA, MPs or ex-MLAs, ex-MPs or who are aspiring to be MLAs, MPs and other politicians in future. Aspiring entrepreneurs and big business owners, mid-career professionals, people who are doing corporate jobs and now thinking about some grand role, some meaningful role in their life, people who are already working in a social domain as impact champions, spiritual and conscious leadership seekers, and finally, aspiring and established spiritual gurus. We are going to share something today which may be a life-changing event for everyone who is participating with an open mind. Now, if you can't relate yourself with any of these target audiences, then you can listen to this masterclass with a completely open mind without any expectation. Maybe by the end of the workshop, you will be able to relate yourself with one of these parameters. This is the agenda that we will be covering today. We will first set the context of the leadership role. We need to first understand the canvas, the playing field of what a leadership role is all about. Then we will talk about Self-Actualized Leadership Development Program, whose glimpse we will be giving today. It's a 4 levels program for around 64 hours. And then as part of the offer that we are giving today, the entire fees of Self-Actualized Leadership Development Program is refundable. This is being done to speed up the process of delivering self-actualized leaders to all parliamentary and assembly constituencies. Then we will talk about that after completion of the course, after understanding the rules to be a leader, we will give you a platform to get networked with other people who are on the path of self-actualized leadership. The collaboration between self-actualized leaders will lead to creation of a great synergy which will help you deploy yourself as a leader in public domain. Then we will also talk about becoming a leader with, of course, earning potential in Project Yug Parivartan itself. Project Yug Parivartan is our vision to create chapters in all assembly constituencies and aggregate all the human and material resources of that constituency to create wise villages and wise towns, which are nothing but the infrastructure for the golden age, social, political, economic, as well as the physical infrastructure. After that, we will ask participants to share their reflections and ask any questions if they may have. Then we will also talk about the next steps and also the 100% money back guarantee scheme that we have brought today. Now let us learn about the context of leadership. Leadership is about leading people towards a direction. So it is very critical for a leader to understand what the right direction is. Because if the leader himself is not in the right direction, then instead of leading, he will do misleading. He will mislead the people in the wrong direction. And if you go into a wrong direction, eventually you will arrive at a wrong destination. This is what is happening all around the world today. There are several leaders, good leaders, self-actualized leaders, but at the same time, there are several misleaders as well. So we'll try to understand whether you can be one of those great grand change leaders in the right direction. So let us start understanding what is the work of a human being. So every human being works for fulfillment of some needs. Every human being works for the solution of the problems other people face, because solving the problems of other human beings is what forms our career, our profession, our job, our business. If we don't solve other people's problem, we will not be able to even survive and earn our living, right? So ecosystem, as you can see, is a combination of living and non-living entities who are interconnected with each other through energy flows. And it is this energy flow which we need to convert into tangible leadership work. If we do this energy flow in the right direction, we become part of the solution. But if we do that in a wrong direction, we become part of the problem. Ecosystem is not bothered by any problem created by human beings as such, or any other species. All these Panch Tattvas, 5 elements, they will continue to be there even without human beings or other species. But the disbalance in these 5 elements result into problems for human beings, and to solve these problems is the mission, profession, job, business, politics, everything moves around that. Everything, every profession, every work is nothing but managing these 5 elements to be conducive in a zone which is conducive for human living. If these elements go out of control, then there will be chaos all around. Now the beauty of this is that these are not only the external elements. Even the composition of human body is of these 5 elements only. So if there is a disbalance in the internal elements of a human being, what he will do outside is also disbalance the outer elements. So if we somehow balance and align the internal elements of human beings, then they will start creating things outside, which is organized. So it is like avastha se vyavastha. Whatever is your internal avastha or your being is what you will create as a vyavastha or a system outside. So it is inside out action taking process, which we call as self-actualization. If you take the decisions and actions based on your highest being, then whatever you will create outside is nothing but solution and not a problem, right? So I hope all of you would want to be part of the solution. I'm not saying that you are not already like that, but what you will learn here today is the maximum potential to become part of the solution. So let's now understand the detailed role of a leader. Why do we need leaders? Why do we follow somebody, or why would somebody follow us? Right? So we need to understand the clear KRA, key result areas of the leaders. So clear direction in problem solving is the essence of what leaders exist to do. Right? The existence of this role is nothing but clear direction in the problem solving side. They need to first minimize the occurrence of problems. So we should not always be in a firefighting mode wherein problems are coming and we are solving, coming and solving. We need to minimize the occurrence of problems by proactively handling the causes due to which it is happening. Courageous enough to tackle them head on before circumstances go out of control. So you must have heard that leader is the person who is impacted first, because he is shielding the rest of his folks and followers from the impact of the big problems coming their way. So they have to tackle them head on, because if things go out of their control, then maybe it may go out of control of everyone. Then they need to create and sustain momentum for the organization and people it serves. Suppose you are leading an organization, then you need to make sure that you are able to create an energy momentum in the right direction, so that people who are being associated with the organization, they are served well within the organization. Now, next role is they need to deal with people who complicate matters with politics, backbiting, self-promotion, power plays, greed, envy, or whatnot. Suppose you have an organization, people have joined you as an employees, or volunteers, or you are a politician having several followers. So don't think that all those who are following you or those who are part of your team will always remain part of solution creation. You may become self-actualized, you may understand the truth, you may understand the principles of cause and effect, but others may not. So if they have not understood the principles, right direction, they will always do some kind of politics, some kind of backbiting, some kind of self-promotion and try to become part of the problem. Right? So leaders have to deal with even their team members and keep making them problem solvers instead of problem creators. Now leaders also need to handle unhealthy competition due to lack of budget and resources. Because no matter how much budget is available, it may always fall short of the requirement. So leaders have to do that within the defined budget and resources. Budget and resources are never unlimited, even if they have a big number associated with it. Right? So these are the primary roles of a leader. And leaders have to navigate through all the obstacles coming in the way. So what are the obstacles? Either we can observe a situation through visionary mindset. And if visionary mindset is not there, we need to accept that it is an illusionary mindset. Because vision and illusion are opposite to each other. If you are visionary, that means you are out of illusion. If you are not visionary, then you are definitely in illusion. Right? And when I'm saying you, I'm including myself. So navigating through all the obstacles. Obstacles are nothing but something that comes between you and the object or subject that you are observing. And all these obstacles have to be navigated well. This is the job of the leaders. Because if they don't navigate through the obstacles, then everybody will be stuck on those obstacles. Right? So I hope you have understood the role of leaders. Now leaders must have great problem solving ability. They need to have guts, vision, right? Influential skills, great oratory, organizing skills. They need to be resourceful to navigate from the problem situation to the solution situation. And how would we get this navigation done? Just take an example of Google Map. What all do we need to arrive from source to destination? So the first thing that we need to know is destination. Where do we want to go? Who we want to be in future? Future solution vision. Ideal situation. Or you can even call it as ideology. For example, there is some problem in the ecosystem today and we want to solve it. So we need to visualize, we need to have the vision how it looks like once the problem is resolved in the future state. Right? So destination has to be very clear, and then we also need to know and diagnose correctly the current problem situation. Source. Why? Because the primary job of the leader is to give the direction to human and material resources from problem to the solution, from source to the destination, because straight line connecting the source with the destination is called as direction. Right? And we need to make sure that while we are leading, we should never lose the sense of direction. Right? So leaders need to be clear about the why, the reason, why the problem is created and why a solution is needed, why I am accountable to solve this problem, and why other people will join you to participate in solving the problem. So primary job of the leader is to take care of the why. Now once the destination, source and direction is understood, the next step is to know the process. What are the materials? What are the means? What are the resources required to create solution from the current problem situations? You have to convert, you have to transform some human and material resources to create a solution situation. And finally, we need to know the path, the action plans and steps to reach from source to destination. Now the good news for all the participants is that you will get all 5 of these within Self-Actualized Leadership Development Program, within Self-Actualized Leadership Network and Project Yug Parivartan. And no money will be spent from your pocket. The entire fees that will be taken for this entire journey will be given back as soon as you complete your self-actualized leadership development program. And this is being done to establish, like to deliver 1 million self-actualized leaders to India as soon as possible. Otherwise, as you can notice through your own observation around, things are not going into right direction and are not going towards right destination. So the future destination with the current trajectory is definitely a deeper dark age. And you have not, if you have not yet diagnosed that, we can help you understand what the current problem situation is by showing you what is the future solution vision. The gap between the current situation and the future situation is the direction in which we all need to collectively move. And that's why making it like fully refundable was the way to make it faster. It's not just to earn money, it is about creating a solution. Because what we are teaching, what we are preaching, if we don't implement ourselves, right, then how would we teach it to others? Now, let us see what is the problem solving potential in human beings. And as all of you are human beings, right, this is the blueprint of your own potential also. So what I would like all of you to do is, while I am explaining all these points related to human potential, you start relating your current life situations with what level of seeker you are, what level of fulfillment is already achieved, and what level of provider you are. So this is called as SFP index of a human being: seeker, fulfilled, provider. So there are 6 levels of seeking, 6 levels of fulfillment, and 9 levels of provider capability within human beings, and our existence lies within these 3 only, right? And based on that, based on our SFP index, our role becomes kind of automatic. We are pre-programmed to do the role based on our SFP index. So if you have to change your role, you have to work upon your SFP index. So let us start understanding. Let's start with S1. S1 is seeking for the fulfillment of physiological need, the one which is highlighted. What are there? Breathing, food, water, sex, excretion, homeostasis, air, clothing, warmth, etc. All of these are survival related needs. If any of these have some deficit, then immediately the person starts feeling helpless, right? So it is very critical that all these needs for every human being should be fulfilled so that nobody feels helpless. Neither you as a leader should be in helpless situation, nor any person who is choosing to follow you should go into helplessness situation. So that is your right as well as duty. Now once these needs are fulfilled, the person becomes survivor. In helpless situation, he is almost close to death, right? So fulfillment of these needs results into survivor. However, even this person in this situation cannot do any providing work. He cannot become provider. He is incapable at this stage. So even if you give them very small, simple work, they are not able to do even that. So they are in the inefficient worker zone. Now next level of seeking is S2. The fulfillment of needs related to safety. What are these? Protection, liability, limits, stability, law, order, security of body, security of employment, family security, health security, etc. If these needs are not fulfilled, then the person starts feeling distress. And why is feeling distress? Because he clearly knows internally that if I am not able to achieve these, very soon I will become helpless, right? That's why there is constant struggle in the mind of this S2 person to fulfill these needs, and all these needs produce fear. So all our fears, all our limitations, all our lack of taking risk, lack of ability to take risk is due to our S2 weakness, right? Now once these needs are also fulfilled, the person becomes secure. He gets a sense of security. And when a person gets sense of security anywhere, then he becomes submissive and becomes an efficient worker. Why submissive? Because he understands that working efficiently as a worker will ensure fulfillment of my S1 and S2 needs. So such people become efficient worker. Now third stage is, once the helplessness and all the distresses are over, then the person gets more material sufficiency than what is required to fulfill the physiological and safety needs. So such people get engaged, or they seek to fulfill the needs related to love, care, belongingness, entertainment, parties, family, friends, affections, all nice to have things, colors of life, right? So these people are called as S3, self-indulgent. If they don't indulge themselves into fulfillment of these needs, they may not feel helpless or distress, but they will start feeling discomforted, right? So when they fulfill their S3 need, they feel comfortable. They become F3, fulfilled at seeking level 3, and become comfortable. And such people who are in comfort zone cannot take big responsibilities. They live life in a carefree attitude, and they become procrastinators, right? Because there is no instant risk of becoming helpless or distressed. So you can give work to these people, but you cannot even give them management responsibility. Forget about leadership, even they can't do management. Okay, so once these needs are also fulfilled and person starts getting glimpse of the next level of seeking, he starts becoming ambitious. Why is he becoming ambitious? Because these thoughts starts coming into his mind. What are these thoughts and cravings? Confidence, achievement, competence, respect by others, respect by self, status, power, recognition, attention. They want to become something in life. They want to achieve. They are ambitious. Only those who are ambitious will be able to achieve. Without ambition, you will remain at fulfillment level, comfortable, not at the level of achievement. Right? Sometimes even reverse journey happens. A person becomes ambitious, he becomes accomplished, and then he falls back to comfortable. He is no more ambitious. I have seen several people who have lost their ambitions due to any reason, due to a reason of failure, due to reason of trying too much, due to the reason of lack of resources. But such people also cannot become leaders, right? So these people, when they fulfill themselves, they become accomplished, and you can give them manager role. They will play this management role very efficiently because these people are image conscious, and those who are image conscious will always make sure that they will not create any scene. They will somehow navigate and manage the situation. So you can hire such people, or you can have such people as your followers and manage your system when you are a leader. Now, up to this level of S, F and P, a person has not even entered into leadership journey or zone. He has not understood that he is carrying extraordinary potential within him, but there is very little resource available to fulfill this. That's why people give up and they don't try to activate their rest of the potential. This has resulted into a lot of wastage of human potential, right? People are not either ready to lead, or they don't have resources to lead, or they feel that they don't have resources to fill. Very little trigger. But somehow if this is triggered and they become seeker level 5, which is the ideal candidate for enrolling in Self-Actualized Leadership Development Program and Self-Actualized Leadership Network. Curious. Without curiosity, we cannot learn. Without curiosity, we cannot become enlightened. The clues may be right there in front of us, but we may not be able to see them if we are not curious. So what are the thoughts that come into our mind when we are curious? Look into this Maslow model again. Playfulness, authenticity. You mean what you say, and you say only that what you mean. And you understand that through some internal process of understanding, even without validation from outside. Curiosity is the food, is the thought here. Always be ready to learn something. High learning agility. Then lack of prejudice. This prejudice is something which helps us hold the fort, but it is the same prejudice which stops our further progress. Suppose somebody has become a big leader, big IAS officer, big politician, right? Even big spiritual guru. The achievement and accomplishment that he has done will result into creation of prejudice. So people who are in self-actualization zone, they remain rational. They remain logical but not prejudiced. This is the trait that you can see in those people. Now, at this stage, you can even evaluate about your seeker level, where you are struggling, where up to what level you are fulfilled, then what level of provider role you are playing right now. Then I will tell you a secret to come out of that struggling zone and be in the higher seeking zone, even without too much fulfillment at the lower zone. That's what is behind the success and grand changes done by self-actualized leaders in the past, right? Then acceptance of facts. These people do not waste time in struggling with not accepting the facts. They are logical enough to accept the facts as soon as possible, and these people have the high problem solving ability. And if we don't have all of these, people will not follow us. They are seeking people who have playfulness, authenticity, curiosity, prejudice-free thinking, ability to accept facts, problem-solving attitude and ability, and also moral. So all these levels of thoughts make a person curious, and fulfillment of this level of seeking results into enlightenment. You become enlightened of the clue of the fact which already exists in the universe. Otherwise it was in dark, right? And such people start becoming a leader because they have become rational. They have got the reason to live, right? They have got logic, they have got why to live. And people without why cannot lead. But you'll be surprised to see that why we have mentioned inefficient leader here. Because even with the direction, even with all the resources, network, power, authority, morality thinking, problem solving attitude, it is possible that the person is in wrong direction. Why he may be in the wrong direction? Because at this stage, he has not learnt the right destination. And recall the previous slide, a direction is nothing but straight line between source and the destination. This is where even with the good intent of those leaders who are leading today, it may be possible that at certain level they have lost their sense of direction. And that's the reason instead of leading, they are misleading the world. When you will meet all these high and mighty people who are leading the world, you will feel not only honored but also impressed by listening to the story of their life. You will not be able to recognize that they may be in the wrong direction, taking people in the wrong direction. So for that, we need to raise our level of seeking to which can show us the destination, right? So next level of seeking is surrender. S6. What is this surrender? Is it like giving up, or it is like surrendering to the enemy? No. This surrender has a much deeper meaning, which we will study in the detailed course. Once this surrender is fulfilled or accepted, then only the person becomes self-realized. So in a brief nutshell, we can say surrendering your body, heart and mind to the soul results into self-realization. Because the self cannot realize the self unless everything else is silenced, right? And this self is nothing but our observation potential. So if we are hiding our own observation potential due to the noise in the body, due to the noise in the heart and due to the noise in the mind, then whom we are actually attacking? We are attacking our own self. This is what the entire humanity is doing today, resulting into deeper and deeper, darker age, even with the advancement of technology more and more. With more advancement in technology, we may be thinking that we are reducing our carbon footprint or reducing our usage of the planet's resources, but the reality is that these technologies, these advancements are using more and more and more resources to an extent that eventually even fulfillment of S1 and S2 needs for large number of people will become extremely difficult. This is where you have to do some soul searching to find the purpose of your life, to understand who you are and why you are sent on this planet, and then take up a leadership role. And we will be there to assist you throughout your journey. If you don't know the destination, then leave it on the role who know that and just follow them. You will find your direction. So let us now see the zone of effective or efficient leadership. A person who becomes rational, who understands the logic, tark, may also become kutarki or intellectual idiot if he doesn't know the destination. He will keep discussing, debating, arguing without understanding the direction in which he is heading. So in order to understand the right direction, at least a beginning level soul faculty should be enabled, and that faculty is called as intuition. Intuition is an innate ability to understand or know something without any reason. Why without any reason? Because it is above rationality. It is above reason. In fact, the intuitions of the original thinkers later become the reason for other people. The intuition of Newton becomes principles, scientific principles and rationality, right? Logic for the other people. Intuition of Einstein is a fact of humanity today. Intuition of Rama, Krishna, Buddha, all these original thinkers, right, results into considering that as a fact, an argument and evidence in future. Similarly, your intuitions can become reasons for the people to follow you. This is how efficient leadership zone is activated. Complete understanding or development of mind and surrender to the soul results into high decision making at the leadership level role. The leaders have followers, and you follow somebody or somebody will follow you only if you are more advanced than them in that particular context. Otherwise, following cannot happen. Nobody will become a follower of somebody who has a lesser skill, understanding, right, on a particular topic, right? So we need to make sure that those who are following us are growing. Your followers' potential become your leadership influence. Similarly, those whom you follow, make sure that they know more than you, right? So these efficient leaders also need to follow somebody. There is a next level performance in human beings, which is called as P7, the state of bliss. The state of bliss is where you start getting all the internal fulfillments without any dependency on the external stimulus. And at this stage, a person starts entering into the mentor role. Mentors are the people who can observe, guide, and even recruit and fire leaders. Leaders are the people who have the ability, like who have a higher role to the managers, to observe, supervise, guide, hire and fire the managers. And managers have the higher authority, understanding, wherewithal to recruit, hire, fire, train the workers. So if you want to become an efficient leader, then search for mentors. They have a higher role, higher vision, higher sense of direction and destination than you. So if you find somebody around you or through internet search or something, search for a mentor who can make you a leader. You can enroll in SALDP also to do that, or you can go and search outside in some other organization to hire a mentor. So why these are called as inefficient mentor? Mentoring is a profession in which the person must have touched the absolute truth. Without the realization, without he himself becoming F6, he cannot mentor error-free. And these errors not only produce multiplier effect, but exponential and ripple effect. The error done by the worker can be detected fast and there is a lesser impact of that error. The error done by the manager has a bigger impact and it may get detected late. And the cost of replacing the manager will be higher than the worker. If a leader does a mistake, then finding that error is almost impossible for the workers and managers. They can just scribble, but they don't have any authority to say anything. So error done by leaders have exponential effect, and replacing a leader is very, very costly. Right? One wrong hire at the leadership position, it is a recipe for disaster for that organization. Right? And if the mentors were defective, then the impact of that defect can go not only during current times, but also for future generations, for centuries, for millenniums. It may continue to produce the ripple effect unless that error of the mentor is neutralized by the correct direction given by a new mentor. This is how the reforms happen. Sometimes the mentor at a particular space and time may not be fully wrong, but he may become out of context after some time. The nectar of one time and space may become a poison for another time and space. A solution given by somebody at some time and space may become the cause of problem for the people in different time and space. I hope you can relate with this. एक समय का अमृत दूसरे समय का विष बनता रहता है. This is where the reformers are required, self-actualized leaders are required, right? Efficient mentors are required, and even avatars are required. So now we will learn about the faculties related to these. P8 is the faculty of efficient mentor zone. People who have at least started seeing the reflection of truth. They are not stuck at just the bliss level. आनंदमय कोश में जाके फंस नहीं गए हैं. They still have the curiosity left to go beyond this Anand, because even this Anand is not the final destination. So people who transcend this Anand, bliss, they reach to reflection and they can see the mirror image of truth. So only those who can see the mirror image of truth can efficiently mentor the people. They should be able to see that as a projection very clearly on a projector screen before they start mentoring other people. If they are mentoring based on their whims and fancies, they are doing a great disservice and creating misleaders. You can find the cause from the effect also. Cause and effect are equal. So if the effect of today is that there are not enough self-actualized leaders, not enough efficient leaders, then definitely the cause is inefficient mentoring. Do some soul searching and see if P6, P7, P8 is also lying there within you as a latent potential. And then be ready to activate that. And as I mentioned already, the good news, the 100% money will be refunded on completion of the course. Right? Last, P9. When the things go beyond control of workers, managers have to step down and work. When things go beyond the control of managers, then leaders have to play the step down role and do emergency management. When situations start going out of control of mentors or leaders, then mentors have to step down and lead. Why? Because you are master in the next role. You have already transcended that consciousness level. So mentors cannot just sit in workshops and boardrooms. They need to lead. Similarly, if things start going out of control of even the efficient mentors, then we need to activate the last and the final faculty within human being, which is P9, avatar. Avatar. Somebody had unmuted in today's workshop, somebody had unmuted his or her mic, which was saying yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat. Exactly. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat is nothing but vision and mission statement of soul. It is the inbuilt accountability of every soul to do dharma ki sthapna, to bring the world towards course correction whenever the situation start going out of control of even the mentors. So that faculty is called as avatar faculty. So my invitation and request to all of you is at least activate P6 and become efficient leader. Right? Let us not give ourselves 100% marks. Right? Most people think that they have already done enough till the time they realize that they have done nothing. This was the level of mentoring that was happening in ancient times. All these F4 level of false accomplishments were broken by the mentors just like that. People may come full of them that I have done this, I have done that, I have accomplished this, I have done that. But when they go to mentors, mentors say you have done nothing. And why do they say so? So that the person comes out of this box, this self-created prison, and become enlightened about the right accountability and potentiality that they are carrying. That's the level of problem solving potential every human being, including you, are carrying. Now it is your choice. You want to keep it just buried within you, or you want to activate it and make some use of it. So let us quickly understand, because if there is potential, then it has to be developed through learning and development and governance, right? So this is the full human potential. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are the connectors, right, in which several secrets, several things are happening. Within one screen itself, this screen, you will get to know several of those secrets. This zone of S1 and S2 is nothing but body related needs, right? And body is the equipment which will do the final act. No action can be done, is accomplished, unless the body has executed that. So body is nothing but worker within us. And as part of Project Parivartan, we have created Golden Age Volunteers Network for the people who want to contribute in creation of Golden Age through direct act, right? Then comes, now to train them, they need to know the domain training, and domain training is nothing but knowing what to do and what not to do, right? Workers are trained through what to do and what not to do, but managers have a different level of training. Leadership development has different level of training, and mentoring is different level of training. So let us now see how the managers are trained. In order to activate the second role, that is manager, we need to increase the processing power of the person, not just acting. Manager is not, his performance is not measured by just how much he acts through his body, but how much he can process through his heart. This processing results into work instructions for the workers. So manager should be trained on how. He needs to be trained on process. He needs to be trained at the psychological level. So his soft skills and management development program training is what is required by these people. Even several courses like NLP and several others, they are training of the how faculty of human beings. Now, why there is a leadership deficit? If there are so many good trainings available in the world today, and now that with chat GPT and all, AI and all, we should all become self-realized through these machines. We should be able to activate our real intelligence through artificial intelligence. Is it what we are expecting? Or some other type of trainings is required? Can chat GPT and artificial intelligence train us on real intelligence? Or is it vice versa? Are we becoming clones of AI? Initially, we have made AI as our clone, but is it not heading into a direction where we will become the clones of AI? Any wrong or any erroneous information that these AI will give will become the universal convention. Where is that natural faculty of intuition, reflection, and revelation? So we need to be alert about this grand danger coming our way. Anyways, coming back to the topic. So for managers, for people who are who are managing the human and material resources of this planet, we are building this golden age business network. Workers are the people who operate between the ignorant state of consciousness to the ego state of consciousness, mostly. Managers operate between ego and emotions. But these three faculties will not result into leadership decision making. So we need to develop something else. No amount of emotional intelligence or emotional quotient training can make a person leader. You train people more and more on emotional quotient, you are making them better and better manager, but may be not even novice level leader. Leadership is completely different ball game. And what is that? Reasoning. Ability to processing should be there in managers, ability to act should be there in the workers, but leaders require ability to reason and reason out what is right and what is wrong. They should be able to challenge the existing reasons and through their intuitive faculties find new reasons and convert that into process. If manager's job is to convert the process into work instructions for the workers, it is the leader's job to convert the reason into a process, a direction into a process. So they need to be given the training on logic. And why there is a leadership deficit in the world today? Because people who are teaching emotional quotient, they are always rating IQ lower than the EQ. Such a bad way of marketing. The intellectual faculty of human being is higher than the emotions. Emotions are the passing waves. Logic is logic. Right? Expression may be done with emotional quotient, but decision making should be done with intelligent quotient. Cause and effect principle. Universe will not function based on our emotions. Universe functions precisely based on cause and effect. The entire universe functions based on cause and effect. The entire world functions based on cause and effect. Every country works based on cause and effect. Every state, every district, every city, every family, every individual, every workplace functions precisely based on cause and effect. Universe is not random. It is based on principles. And whenever human beings forget these principles and start thinking that world functions based on their whims and fancies, all these chaos happens. And now, so SALDP is placed in developing the intellectual capability, reasoning capability, decision making capability, निश्चयात्मक बुद्धि, स्थित प्रज्ञा, संप्रज्ञात समाधि, sabit samadhi, right? Ability to take decision based on highest mental faculties which are surrendered to soul. Then only a person can be called as self-actualized. Self-realization is real internal realization of Atma. Self-actualization is the outward expression of the actions done by the Atma. Last faculty is soul. And soul neither acts nor processes, and it even doesn't have the ability to reason. It learns based on revelations. The truth is unveiled with no mental processing, no vibrations from body, heart and mind. The more you stop the acting, processing, reasoning and reasoning, you will get more revelations of truth, of principles. This is where wisdom appears. Intelligence can only tell you cause and effect. Wisdom will tell you what is above cause and effect. How cause and effects are equal. How left and right are equal. How can you meet these ends, which were actually not different ends? They were together, they are separated. How to bring them back? And for that, you need to activate your philosophical faculty. Philosophy. Without philosophy, all the reasons, all the logics are made from the philosophy by somebody else at some point in time. Physiological is governed by psychological. Psychology is governed by logic, and logic is governed by philosophy. So whichever faculty you will activate, you will get that role in your life. If somebody chooses to be in S1 to S4, then maximum worker, manager, that's it. But if you take a conscious decision to activate your logical ability, then you will get into a leadership zone. This is the intent of this program. So why you must complete your self-actualization? I hope you would have already got several reasons to activate your self-actualization, but I'll add some more to it. Self-actualization is not just nice to have thing. S3 level fulfillment may be nice to have things, but self-actualization is essential. Without it, you operate far below your true potential. And if we operate below our true potential, nobody else has to be blamed. Right? Because if we get into a situation where we need to blame others, that means we have not activated our ability to see beyond the blame game. Fulfillment over frustration. External success feels incomplete without inner growth. बाहर से कितना भी आ जाएगा वो आर्टिफिशियल जैसे इंटेलिजेंस है, सिमिलरली आर्टिफिशियल आनंद आ जाएगा, रियल आनंद तो अंदर से ही आएगा. Clarity of purpose. Shift from reacting to life versus consciously architecting it. Shift from becoming victim of circumstances to becoming the creator of the future. Clear purpose, clear direction, clear why. Becoming useful to others, because if you don't become useful, you know what is the opposite of it, antonym of it, useless. If you are not useful, we are useless. Choice is ours. Do we want to make our life useful or useless? Peak leadership capacity. Integrate vision, empathy, courage and discipline in execution all together. Right? Vision is the spiritual faculty, empathy is the mental faculty, courage is the psychological faculty, and disciplined execution is the physiological ability. All coming together in unison. That is our peak leadership capacity. Heart, body, heart, mind and soul working in unison with each other. Immunity to distractions. Fame is a driving factor to reach to S4 or a F4 level of fulfillment. But fame is the obstacle to reach into F5 and S6 level fulfillment. So all these distractions, fame, fear, criticism and failures lose power over you. These are roadblocks, obstacles created by S1 to S4 level of faculties. Once you win over them, you will understand that the resource to fulfill S1 needs is there in S2 level of seeking. If you want to fulfill at S2 level, then seek S3 level. If you want to fulfill your S3 level, seek S4 level. If you want to fulfill your S4 level, then seek S5 level. And if you want to self-actualize, then seek S6 level. Right? If you seek S2, security, you will get fulfillment of physiological needs. If you build a network, right, seek relationships, right, network with all other people, then you will get a safety net for your safety related needs. If you want to have more people who love you, who are in relationship with you, who connect with you, then seek self-esteem fulfillment. If you want to raise your self-esteem to be established more than several other people, then seek self-actualization. And if you want to self-actualize, how would you actualize without realizing? You can actualize only what you realize. So first self-realization, then self-actualization. Legacy creation. Build systems that uplift humanity beyond your lifetime, which means you are not limited by the life of your body. Even after your body has gone, you have died, you can still work. You will not work through your body, you will work through the systems that you have created. Your heart will have a copy in the hearts of your followers. Your mind will stay in this world. The work done by your mental abilities will stay in this world in the form of systems, in the form of legacy that you will leave. and your soul will continue to inspire, guide leaders even after your death. This is how, and this is not just a goody talk, this is a fact. All those people who have died, they are still working. The great example is yesterday only, Janmashtami, celebrating the birthday of a person who has died 5,500 years ago. Celebrating is not only the work that he has done during his youth and old age, but also the childhood that he has spent. How is it possible? Because he has worked from the highest level of spiritual faculties. He has worked as a P9 performer, avatar performance. And that's why it is continuing. We have that ability too. Krishna or Rama or Buddha or Jesus or Muhammad, these are not the final benchmarks of performance. They are not restricting your performance. If they are restricting your performance, then doubt is created even on their performance. How could somebody at such level can restrict the performance of other people? You can break the benchmarks that even they have created. That level of potential is there within us. Right? In essence, self-actualization is equal to becoming the most evolved version of yourself, able to fulfill life's higher responsibility. इन सारी समस्याओं का सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन में क्या होता है जाके, इस सारी समस्याओं का कारण भी मैं और इन सारी समस्याओं का निवारण भी मैं. इसीलिए वो यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य बस निकल जाता है व्यक्ति के मुंह से जब वो अवतार लेवल पे परफॉर्म करता है, हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ अकाउंटेबिलिटी. सो एज आई मेंशन्ड, we have a complete system in place to help you do your self-actualization without giving any fees to us. Whatever fees we will charge at the beginning, we will return once you complete your phase 1 of learning. Then phase 2 is free and phase 3 is also free. Only in phase 1 we will keep some security deposit kind of thing so that you remain serious. Now what is phase 1? Phase 1 is development phase, in which you will be trained rigorously through Self-Actualized Leadership Development Program, which has 4 levels as you can see. Observe your maximum potential. First of all, we will help you witness who you are in first level itself. Then from that who level of understanding, we will tell you why you are not at your maximum who. Understand defects in your observation. All the reasons why there are defects in your observation. Then how to influence your elements towards the purpose. Each and every element has to be, each and every cell has to be brought in the direction of purpose. Because if your constituents are spreading here and there, you will not have your full involvement or movement towards the right direction. So it is important to influence these 5 elements within us towards the purpose. We'll learn that in level 2. And in level 3, we will learn to fix the obstacles of vision. As I said, anything that comes between you and your destination is called as obstacle. Right? So self-actualization contract. There will be a contract between a leader and a mentor, right? A moral contract, not a legal contract. We will propose that contract to you just after this workshop. And if you decide, then refundable mentoring fees will be paid at this stage. And once you complete this phase 1, your self-actualization contract begins. You will sign it after completing the leadership course. And at that stage, once you sign the contract, your 100% fees will be refunded. And even if you want to quit, then also your fees will be 100% refunded. And this is a limited period offer, just to ensure that we get assembly presidents for all the 4,223 assemblies fast. It is very important to install self-actualized leaders in every assembly constituency and every parliamentary constituencies as soon as possible towards the direction of Satya. Right? We have to collectively do that. So your 100% fees will be refunded. Even if you don't want to join Project Parivartan, even if you don't want to deploy yourself as a leader, you can still learn about your maximum potential and get your fees back. Then in second phase, if you decide to sign the self-actualization contract, your phase 2 will start. Phase 2 will be incubation phase, where we will nourish you through the various systems and start deploying you. We'll give you forums to do net practice of leadership role through Self-Actualized Leadership Network Incubation Program, SALN IP, which will also have 4 levels: Mission Explorer, Mission Seeker, Aspirant Leader and Emerging Leader. Right? ये ज्ञान योग हो जाएगा आपका, ये भक्ति योग हो जाएगा, और तीसरा जाके कर्म योग आएगा, where you will be deployed as a leader. So at this stage your self-actualization contract will complete and you will start earning through PYP system. We will hire you on completion of these 2 levels successfully, these 2 phases completely. We will hire you as an assembly president. Right? Then the third phase, wherein it is called as Actualized Potential into Performance Program, APIPP. So you don't, whatever you pay here will be refunded here, you don't pay anything here, and then you start earning in this level. Starting level is assembly president, so then parliamentary president, regional president and national president. We have divided India into 50 regions, which are nothing but 543 parliamentary constituencies and 4,123 assembly constituencies. To make sure that we have 4,123 people joining us as assembly president, it is important to train at least 10 times more at the emerging leader level. So 41,230 people will be trained up to the level of emerging leader. Then 2,06,150, 4,12,300, 8,24,600. So overall around 1.5 million people, 15 million people will be trained, 15 lakh people will be trained on SALDP program. Now I'll just give a quick glimpse of what will be there in Self-Actualized Leadership Development Program in phase 1. As I mentioned, we need to raise our observation level so that we can observe more than everyone else. Then only you can lead them. If you are observing lesser than them, then you cannot lead them. So whatever level is developed so far is called as realized potential, and whatever is still not touched is called as unrealized potential. So what SALDP will do is it will increase your realized potential and decrease your unrealized potential. And as I mentioned, you can actualize only what you have realized. So our actualization potential is this. Right? Whatever level you can realize, you can actualize. So if you have realized the absolute truth, you can actualize the absolute truth into your actions, so that every action that you do will start becoming an act of God. Flawless, highest effective. And a journey that you will be traveling through SALDP is a journey from illusion about your potential and performance to the journey of vision about your potential and performance. That will be gradually enabled through SALDP. Now see this Maslow model from the top view, which even Abraham Maslow has not seen, right? So it is nothing but directly relates to the quantum theory and electron, neutron, proton and the nucleus. The nucleus of our existence is at 7. Now all these outer orbits are where your center of mass is orbiting. And as you know this scientific principle of physics, the farther you are from the nucleus, the lesser is your energy potential. So you have to somehow manage to enter into your higher energy potential, but it's not that easy. Entering from S1 to S2 is easiest. From S2 to S3 is little bit more difficult. From S3 to S4, more difficult. S4 to S5, extremely difficult. S5 to S6 is kind of rare. And then S6 to S7 is your ability to surrender. From S1 to S6 you will accumulate, but from S6 to S7 the rules are reversed. You have to eliminate. So we will help you break all these layers of illusion so that you can attain self-realization. This will be done through SALDP. And when you wear this hat, you will understand the mental map of all the people. Once this SFP index is realized, you can very well understand without judging people, just to analyze where the other person is so that you can give them the next level of stimulus than what they are seeking. That will help them grow. And leadership is nothing but helping people grow to their next level. Before you are a leader, your performance is judged by how much you have grown. But once you are on a leadership position, your performance is judged by how many people are grown under you. So if you achieve self-realization, you can understand the point of view of other people also and can lead them effectively in the solution delivery. Now this is what happens in a non-self-actualized state. The center of mass keeps fluctuating. When it goes to S4, it feels confident. When it goes to S5, it becomes out of the box, curious and ready to learn. When it goes to S6, it becomes Jnani, it gets the enlightenment. But when it drops to S3, it results into procrastination. When it goes into S1, then it results into laziness, disease and other things. This is how it keeps fluctuating. You keep going from abundance zone to deficit zone. But once you have seen the truth, absolute truth, even touched that, you will start coming back fast. You will mostly stay at S6 level with little drops in between, but you can recover because your drashta, your observer is active. Your observer can see even if you are indulged in S1, S2, S3, S4 activities at some point in time, your observer will still be able to see that and it will bring you back. Right? So distractions or diversions can be easily converted into course correction when you have touched S6. Now this was phase 1 when the development will happen and the money will be returned. Now SALN membership you will get free of cost if you qualify. Right? It is incubation phase where we will put you into kind of an incubation center and give you net practice of practicing the leadership principle in real forums. And for that we are building PYP, Project Yug Parivartan chapters in all assembly seats. And every chapter will be having Golden Age Volunteers Network, which has 4 levels of membership: Associate Volunteer, Senior Volunteer, Team Lead and Project Lead. Then Golden Age Business Network, which has 4 levels of membership: General Member, Senior Member, Elite Member and Corporate Member. Your incubation center will be SALN, Self-Actualized Leadership Network, wherein you will be first given a mission catalog to explore the various missions, various forums to explore your mission. Then once you become mission seeker, you will be elevated to 3B, then aspirant leader and emerging leader. The number in the bracket is nothing but the maximum number of members on a particular level of membership in one chapter. Right? Then for gurus, we have this 4th level network, Self-Realized Mentorship Network or SRMN, wherein the core spiritual seekers who want to become mentor one day, who get into P7, P8 and P9 level of performance, for them the incubation center is SRMN. They start with spiritual observer, then spiritual seeker, then aspirant mentor and then emerging mentor. And as I mentioned that this network will help you enhance your network and space of influence. You will be given enough forums to do intra-chapter networking and inter-chapter networking. This way, your space of influence will grow. Space of influence in leadership zone work through a principle called as MAG, Mutual Admiration Group. right? A celebrity cannot remain celebrity if he has no connections, like he will not get the power and authority if he has no connection with politicians or big businessmen. A big businessman networks with politicians and celebrities to increase his space of influence. And a politician networks with celebrities and businessmen to increase his area of influence. So together these three entities synergize to increase each other's space of influence without anyone losing anything in that. That is called as mutual admiration group, helping each other grow. However, you may feel it sounding negative, but this is not negative, this is true. That you have to keep expanding your space of influence if you have to cover your space of accountability. If you have a great understanding of your space of accountability and no space of influence, तो फिर वो wishful thinking रह जाती है. You cannot convert the vision into actions if you don't increase your influence. So SALN will help you increase your space of influence. We are already networked with several eminent people of this country, right? Whenever we announce a summit, even an online summit, people from business world, political world, spiritual world, they accept our invitation very easily. I'll share the link to our YouTube channel. You can see their testimonials on our YouTube channel. Now, what else you will get in the SALN? You will get organization of all the stakeholders of your mission. Who are the stakeholders of your mission? End users, customers, vendors, shareholders, governments, employees, organization to organization partners, volunteers, general public, and lenders. All of these will be networked with each other through mission networking. A vendor in context of one organization can be a customer in the context of other organization if they are networked well. So that kind of mission networking is enabled within SALN to empower you to get the required space of influence. Now the third phase, the performance phase, where based on your qualification criteria, you will be hired as an associate or assembly leader to lead the entire assembly constituency. And an average assembly constituency size is 1 lakh population to up to 5 lakh population, right? You will build or govern the Golden Age Volunteers Network, Golden Age Business Network, Self-Actualized Leadership Network, and Self-Realized Mentorship Network chapter within your constituencies, right? So performance phase is engagement with Project Yug Parivartan. Now what is Project Yug Parivartan? So as you must have seen so far, that we are not just creating and proposing a solution, we are also creating the solution creators. The job of the leaders is primarily to create solutions, but the job of the mentors is to create the solution creators, right? So their job is also to provide the vision towards that solution. So current ecosystem is like this, dark age or VUCA world or Kali Yuga, in which all these problems are reaching to their tipping points. And after something reaches to tipping point, it is a free fall. So in order to stop that, there is a U-turn which is required from direction of Kali Yuga to the direction of Satyug. We are calling this as a golden age ecosystem or WISE world, worldwide integrated services ecosystem. So direction of awareness is being given. Now as part of Project Yug Parivartan, we are here to reorganize the entire world. So for that we need to understand the organization levels and then create sufficient systems to organize the world at that level. So at the most basic level, we are individuals, human beings who have our personal and professional lives. The organization of personal life is called as family and the organization of professional life is called as workplace. Now these two are smallest units of organization which are governed under another energy flow called as city as an organization. We cannot manage this world only in the form of families and workplaces, families and companies. We need an enclosing a container organization called as city to give a hosting environment to families and workplaces. Now these cities, we cannot manage the world at just the city level also. Otherwise there will be large number of cities, very difficult to manage. So we need another enclosure which we call as district. Now districts also cannot be, they are also small units of organizations who cannot be organized if there are large number of districts in the world. So we have to reduce that further by giving one more container which is called as state or province. Right? For example, United States of America is also a union of states. India is also a union of states. You cannot manage America as one United America. It has to be a collection of states. India has to be a collection of states. Single unit of organization may not work. Right? So these states have to be clubbed together into an organization called as country. And all these countries have to be clubbed together to manage the world. And this world works precisely based on laws of nature. Everything that happens on this planet Earth is based on laws of nature. But these laws of nature are only limited to planet Earth. On another planet, the principles work differently. But there are certain principles which work exactly same no matter which planet you inhabit. And these principles are called as universal principles or eternal principle, Sanatan principle. What are these Sanatan universal principles? Anadi, Anant, beginningless, endless, Sanatan, eternal, Bhavatit, Bhavrahit, without any emotions, Trigunatit, free from the transparency, translucency and opacity of mind, Kalatit, beyond time, beyond space. If these principles are not learnt, then we will not be able to understand laws of nature. And if we are not able to understand laws of nature, we will not be able to create correct laws for the country, for the state, for the district, for the city, for the workplace and for the families. And this is the reason why even if you don't want to become a leader, you still need to know the laws of nature and eternal principles. So we are building an ecosystem, preparing this completely from the assembly level to parliamentary, regional, country and the global level. All these organizations have to be reorganized. And you have an opportunity to rise that ladder and reach to whatever level of organization you want to reach. Right? And if you feel it is overwhelming and impossible and too much, then just see the organization called as United Nations. Only human beings are leading them. Countries are led by human beings. You are also a human being. Now you also know that you have the same potential. So you can also lead. So this is the human development target of building a golden age from the current dark age. Currently, almost 700 crore people out of 800 crore are living in the S1, S2 stage. Their life ends there. Then another 100, near to 100 crore people are in S3. Very few people are there in S4, S5, S6. This is not the very good health status of the ecosystem. Humans have devised something called as, I think, human happiness index. But happiness is a very superficial emotion. So what they are doing is they are setting a lower benchmark, right, so that they perform better. You build a low benchmark, you can perform 100%. Real benchmark is not human happiness index, but human evolution index. How much people have evolved? So in Satyug, just for seeding itself, we have to make sure that 390 crore people will come out of S1 level. Then 250 crore people will come out from S2 level to S3 level. At least 850 crore people should be living their life outside the helplessness and distress. Even if they are procrastinating, not becoming leader, at least they should live comfortably, 850 crore people. And for that we need 84 crore people to become efficient managers, 5 crore people to decide that they want to lead, 1 crore people to be in the self realization efficient leader zone, and 10 people must be performing at the avatar level to do this golden ACD. And you can choose to be anywhere you want. So revisiting the 3 phases of self-actualization roadmap before we end the workshop today. Phase 1 is development phase. Phase 2 is incubation phase. Phase 3 is performance phase. Even if you don't want to become assembly president, parliamentary president, regional or national president, at least you can think to become mission explorer, mission seeker, aspirant leader or emerging leader. And even if you don't want to go into phase 2, at least do your phase 1 without any cost. Just pay the full fees here, refundable mentoring fees paid, and 100% fees refunded at the completion. It will take you around 6 months to 1 year to complete the course. It will be done through online mode and self-paced mode. We will discuss that into a one-to-one counseling session. We have completed this first step as SALN Masterclass. In second stage, we will do counseling with all of you today and tomorrow, and then you can decide to take the journey forward. All questions that you may have which are not answered during the workshop today, you can ask them during your counseling. These are the summary of steps towards your self-actualization contract. First is inquiry and introduction. This is done, accomplished. Second is counseling, which is optional. If you have gained enough clarity already, you can directly join. Then enrolling and onboarding, start your journey with full access to all the resources available for your development. Step 4 is self-paced learning. Learn anytime, anywhere, 24/7. Then revision and Q&A workshop, which are live workshops to deepen your understanding. Then hands-on exercises in each level of SALDP to convert learning into practices. Then review content to keep concepts at your fingertips so that you can revise them whenever you want. Then step 8 is tests and reflections. Measure your progress through these tests and celebrate your growth. Step 9 is certification, final certification of SALDP, which you can even write as your qualification in your curriculum vitae and resume. Earn recognition for your growth. And then finally, step 10, signing the self-actualization contract and take your fees back. Right? Even if you don't sign, you will get the fees back. Even if you sign, you will get the fees back. So in either case, you will get it. So this is the summary flow of 100% money back guarantee, which is valid only for 3 days of attending the masterclass. After that, the regular fees will be there and no refund policy will be applied. So stage 1 is participant pays fees, is invoice issued. Then you can cover your SALDP program. Your records will be maintained. Your assessments will be maintained. Then stage 3, completion of SALDP. You fulfill your eligibility criteria. And then you can apply for a refund in 60 days of completion. And then within next 30 days, refund payment will be credited to your account. The fees is 45,000 rupees for self-actualized leadership development program, which is 100% refunded to every participant on completion of the course or elapse of 1 year, whichever is later. Then second phase, SALN membership is also free, and in phase 3 we will hire you as a leader. So it is like to hire the leaders for this country. We have built our own university. Thanks a lot for giving time today. Namaskar to everyone, and looking forward to see you in as an SALDP participant soon.